Hello everyone, welcome to Penn State Sports Night. I'm Groft alongside Hunter Pitcoff and Logan Bourandas. Tonight we'll be looking at the contenders and pretenders of college football. To start off, where do you think Georgia's going to end up with their loss to South Carolina?
Well, this loss against South Carolina really hurts, and not just because they have a losing record, but just because how top-heavy the college football landscape is right now, with multiple teams undefeated. And you got to take a look at, even if Georgia does go undefeated, and they do have a pretty tough schedule coming up with some pretty tough teams, but it's going to be really tough for Georgia to make their way back after what happened last Saturday.
Yeah, this is how I kind of look at it, though. Georgia has two things playing in their favor: strength of schedule and talent. Look, they're going to be playing Florida. They're going to be playing Auburn. They're going to be playing A&M. They're going to play Missouri, who's now ranked. That is a golden opportunity for them to climb back up the AP poll if they're able to pull off all those wins, which I think they're capable of doing. And plus, this team is so talented. They almost had Bama's number in the SEC championship last year. I would not be shocked if they get back there and actually beat Bama this time. I'm not sure it will happen, but they definitely have the chance. So I'm not panicking just yet on Georgia.
Moving on, LSU is now second in the rankings. Do you think they're going to be able to contend with Alabama?
Well, their offense has definitely been on point this year, especially with Heisman favorite Joe Burrow. But we've seen this many seasons before in the past, where LSU has a great regular season or great start to regular season. Then they run into Alabama and the other tough opponents in the SEC, and they just start falling right down in the standings. And with that Alabama game coming up, that's going to be hands down one of the best college football playoff games of the year, and definitely going to be huge for who makes it into the college football playoffs. But LSU, if they can manage to take down both Alabama and Auburn, hands down they're going to the college football playoffs.
There's just something different about this LSU team this year. It just feels different. I mean, this team's gotten beat down year in and year out by Alabama. They've lost 8 straight to Alabama. It's hard. I do not think that they want to lose 9 straight if I was LSU. Joe Burrow, as you said, has been awesome this year. This offense is averaging 52.5 points per game. Wide receivers such as Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase, 8 touchdowns each. This LSU team, star-studded on the defensive side, first-round draft picks. I think that they're the real deal, and I would not be shocked if they beat Alabama this year.
Oklahoma is now 5th overall in the rankings. Do you think Jalen Hurts can carry them to the college football playoff?
Well, you got to love what Jalen Hurts has done to the offense. And we've seen it before with Oklahoma and how their offense, specifically in 2017 with Baker Mayfield, where he just carried that team that didn't really have that great of a defense to the college football playoffs. And taking a look at that team compared to this year's 2019 squad, what Jalen Hurts is doing is way up and beyond compared to 2017. And I definitely think, especially with their easier schedule, that they can definitely make it back to the college football playoffs.
Well, I think their easy schedule actually may be a detriment because I look at other teams that are in the SEC and Big Ten, these other conferences that have bigger opportunities. So I think the margin of error for Oklahoma is really, really slim. They're going to have to play nearly perfect for them, in my opinion, to get to the college football playoff because this is how I see it playing out. Clemson's going to get in. I highly doubt anyone contends them in the ACC. The winner of the SEC will get in. The winner of the Big Ten will get in. And then there's that 4th spot. So if Oklahoma plays lights out, that could happen. I think they're a really good team. Definitely top 10. I just don't think they're going to squeak in the college football playoff this year.
Let's look at the Big Ten now. Wisconsin's now 6th overall. Do you think they can get their way into the college football playoff with the way they've been playing?
Well, Wisconsin's definitely looked like the most complete team in college football with their amazing defense and the Heisman performance of Jonathan Taylor. And even with a below-average game from Taylor's perspective, where he got 80 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns, Wisconsin still beat Michigan State by 38 points in a shutout. So Taylor doesn't have to rush for over 100 yards every game, and their defense can just do what they have to do. But if they can win out with the rest of their schedule, and in the Big Ten championship, they're probably going to have to play Ohio State or Penn State. And if they can beat Ohio State twice, if Ohio State does beat Penn State, that's going to be huge for Wisconsin. But that's a big if because Wisconsin, they've never really done that well against the big teams in the East in the past.
Look, I would love to argue with Logan, but I think you hit it on the nail right there.
Thank you.
Look, Wisconsin's defense wins championships, right? They have shut out 4 of their 6 opponents. That's the first time that's happened in at least 40 years. They also have held all 6 teams to a grand total of 29 points. That is the least amount of points a Power 5 school has led up since 1994 when the Florida Seminoles did it. That man, Jonathan Taylor, is absolutely a stud. He may be my Heisman pick this year, the way he's been carrying the ball and carrying the team literally. And yeah, look, Wisconsin does have a tough schedule, but the ABC rule says adversity builds character, right? I think that they're going to overcome that tough schedule, win a lot of those games, even if they drop one or so. And I think they're going to be positioned really well to play in Ohio State or Penn State in the Big Ten Championship. And if they win that, I mean, they're going to make the college football playoff.
You guys both mentioned Penn State. What do you guys think about Penn State's defense? Is it the #1 defense in the nation right now?
Well, I'm not really going to judge it quite yet, just because besides Iowa last week, Penn State hasn't really hit the bulk of their schedule. And they haven't really played a big-time offense, probably until this week with the whiteout game where they play Michigan, who keep bragging that they had this new reformed offense that we haven't seen yet. But even with that, they still average almost over 30 points a game. So this is going to be a great test for the Penn State defense, and especially that front seven to slow down that defense. But this is definitely a great test for them, and I'm very excited to see the whiteout game for these guys.
Best defense, it's arguable. I will say this is a definitive answer. Most athletic front seven, best pass rush in the country, hands down. This school is called Linebacker U for a reason. Their linebackers are freakishly long and athletic. They cover so much ground. That's why Penn State's able to send all these different formations on defense and has caused a lot of trouble, as we've seen. Looking at their defensive line, Yetur Gross-Matos, first-round pick. You can book it now. Also, a guy like Shakatoni, they're so lucky that he did not get kicked out for targeting, and that they're going to have him for the first half because he has played so well as a reason. And Robert Windsor, he basically was roommates with Nate Stanley last game in the pocket. He got to know him pretty well and just caused massive mayhem against a team like Iowa who has a great offensive line. Michigan also has a great offensive line. Like you said earlier, they bragged about this awesome offense that they have, but they haven't really showed it. They're getting shut out by some teams. This defense of Michigan is not as good. I think Penn State will have the number and win the whiteout game, and I'm very confident in this defense. I think Penn State can definitely make some noise this year.
Great point for both of you guys. We'll see what happens down the road in the college football playoff. This concludes our segment of Contenders and Pretenders of College Football Playoff. For Hunter Pitcoff and Logan Bourandas, I'm Austin Groft. See you next time.
Thank you for watching our latest edition of Penn State Sports Night. If you're a fan of our content, please be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more clips. Also follow us on Twitter at PSSNTV and on Instagram at PSU Sports Night to keep up with the action. For all my colleagues, we are Penn State Sports Night.